Alright, here we go with a concept run which involves two of the units from Danger Pack, one of which I almost never use, and that is the blue whale, the mascot of the pack. I pretty much only use it for the stat line, either transforming it or summoning it with popcorn. But then we're also going to use the tier 2 Proboscis monkey. Proboscis monkey, I still haven't actually looked up how you're supposed to pronounce that. But anyway, this is a unit that I have started using a lot. And it basically allows you to transform a unit on your team at the start of turn. And given that I'm constantly in need of transformations to try and get specific combos going, it is very useful to be able to get one for free every single turn. And what I wanted to go for in this run was having Proboscis Monkey build an entire team out of blue whales. I say entire team, I mean have the monkey plus 4 whales and then transform them into other tier 6s. So here we go, we get the monkey on turn 4, is it? It was actually buffed in a recent update to be a 4/4 stat line, which is really nice. I don't think it's quite as good in Danger Pack itself as it is in Customs. But I guess there are a lot of units in that same boat where, they suddenly become very, very relevant in Customs when they're maybe not the greatest in their own pack. So we get the level 2 here from the transformation. That's one of the benefits of transforming tier 2s. You can just get the level up straight away. And I think I'm about to buy churros onto the Proboscis monkey in advance. So yeah, this is one of those situations where it's not actually necessary because the monkey has 11/11 stat line already. But if you think about it, blue whale is also start of turn. So if the monkey didn't have a higher attack stat than 12, then buying a blue whale could result in the blue whale removing the entire team before we even get to do the transformation. And although that might seem like that is like an obvious mistake to make, I definitely made that mistake a few times going for this. Usually it would be because I had like turkey and lobster already set up. So when I was buying the blue whales, they weren't actually at base stats, they were above that. And yeah, you can see here, I'm just feeding the monkey over and over again because the most important thing is that its attack stat is higher than the blue whales. But there is actually a reason why we don't even really need to do that, which we'll talk about in a second. I can't remember if I'm going to get any blue whales here on turn 9. We do have the extra gold on the lemming from the elk. So I think we can just use the flounder here to level up 2 units at once and hopefully get blue whales. And wouldn't you know it, we get 2 of them. So no lobsters, no turkeys here, so we don't have to worry about the attack order. Plus we already bought the churros anyway. But yeah, this is the perfect situation. I played a lot of games of this, and most of the time I would get to turn 9. Even if I had Wyvern, I would not get multiple blue whales. So it was nice in this situation to actually get 2 of them. So yeah, the interesting thing about Proboscis Monkey is that it cannot transform a unit into a blue whale. So this is something that it could do originally, but it was changed because it would ruin a lot of boards in Danger Pack if you transformed a tier 6 and then ended up with blue whale. And you weren't able to find a chickpea to transform it to something else. And I think that was a sensible option. I don't think the ability text actually says anything about that, but it definitely is the case that if you transform, your tier 6s over and over again, you're not going to get another blue whale. So in this situation, we ended up getting, was it Warthog, I think? I ended up transforming it again, but that's because we got the Amsterdam Albatross. So the Amsterdam Albatross ability will actually go off after the Proboscis Monkey, which means that we can get this sort of free scaling every time we hit one of those. There we go, we get it again because the Sleipnir turned into 1. And then another issue going for this was just not finding enough blue whales. Obviously we need 4 in total. So at some point we're going to have to keep one of these tier 6s and then let the Proboscis monkey transform the other 3. Okay, we get Warthog and Gorilla. I tried to set up the tier 6s in such a way that, you know, give us the best chance to win, while also triggering the, while also activating the abilities of the pets as many times as possible. So, as well as being able to get the scaling from the Amsterdam Albatross, there was also T-Rex, as you see here. So the T-Rex's ability will go off. And then there's also Aklut and Sleipnir. So we've got Aklut at the front now, so I'm not going to transform it, because if we happen to get Sleipnir from any of these other transformations, then we can get the in-battle mana scaling as well. So there we go, we get Sleipnir. I think Aklut only needs 2 mana, but I end up feeding it the mana here anyway. I should have actually done that the other way, yeah. I rearranged because I realised I bought the mana potion on the wrong unit. Of course, the bigger Aklut is then going to become something else next turn. But we do know for sure it won't be a blue whale. Really nice to see someone playing Queen Bee here, plus the Grizzly. I think we should be fine with the Coconut, yep. Still fairly close though, that was quite a good Queen Bee team. And okay, we get double Sabertooth. Not exactly what I wanted, but they'll become something else next turn anyway, so not to worry. And then I guess we'll just buy Peach of Immortality, which is rapidly becoming an auto take in virtually every single pack. And then here's Hen King playing an Olm team. But I think we're going to be okay, yeah. Kind of scary when you see an Olm team like that, but I suppose the Anubis squads of old aren't really possible anymore. And then we get a pretty nice transformation here. Double Bakunawa plus Sleipnir, so we should get more scaling from the Aklut, although we are on 9 wins, 1 heart, so it's probably do or die here. I guess we could tie since we have no summons. And it actually matches me with the same person as was playing the Queen Bee team earlier, but it looked like they were playing basically a completely free-to-play squad. So kind of an unusual sequence of opponents of teams from the same person, but it does end up giving us the win. So there's Proboscis Monkey with 4 former blue whales, eventually winning after far too many attempts.